Yes, we
That's
did.
Joe is so great. I'm used to the countdown now. I can be like, hey, we're gonna do the show now. Joe's counting accurately.
Yeah, yes. Or so he thinks.
Yeah. But now, what's gonna be really entertaining, you need to watch to the end of the show because you'll get how Joe cuts me off because it's become a tradition. That's how we do this now. So stay tuned. Today's exciting adventure cut off at the end of
But
the
come listen to half of what Joe has to say at the end of the video.
show. Really?
Oh, again,
Are we
again.
dealing with audio stuff?
Yeah, Joe did a
Man, oh
thing.
man.
Just a sec.
Hey, alright. Uncontrolled play.
Throwback. Real
Yeah, how about
throwback.
that? Jeff, name that tune. Is it Ground Control to Major Tom? It's not Rocket Man. I know that for sure. We need to put a post-it note.
Post-it note.
A post-it note on your computer that says fix the audio before you turn it on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because the only way I can I have to change my speakers like literally every 2 hours.
Oh, like
D-
get new ones?
No,
Throw
no,
the old
like
ones away?
no, yeah, that's what I do. There's like just a box back here of just like speakers that I keep replacing.
Is it
But
good now?
yeah, it's good. So
Oh.
the way that it works is generally throughout the day I switch over to like different audio output, but
Mm.
OBS isn't capturing that audio output, so the only way they can actually hear you is because it's on my speakers that get picked up by my mic. So that's
Oh.
where they're hearing you through
Oh,
as
cool.
like as distant
Like, where's Joe? He's in the void.
void.
Yes. Well, welcome, you guys. It's the Double Cup of Joe show. This is our morning show, and I'm your host, Joe.
And I'm your other host, Joe.
He is. He's the other today.
Together.
Is is
But
that right? Did you host yesterday?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because you answered all the
Oh
questions.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so confused. Well, it's hard because I do this stream and I also do Don't Worry Wednesday, and the schedules are all off because we switch hosting every day.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
because of
do.
the way it doesn't always line up, it's so confusing. Like, yeah. So anyway, it's weird. But this is a show. We want to start your day off right. Actually, like I said yesterday, we want to start off our day right, and we want to hang out with you, which is really starting our day off right because hanging out with you guys is what we like to do the best. At least me. I don't know about Joe over there. He probably likes it even better than me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. True.
So his is bester than me.
Bester. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yep. Bester. Definitely.
bester. Exactly. I
That
don't
I
know if
can.
that's a word. It's probably not. English people will be rolling over and going. they're not rolling over in their graves. They're rolling over in their beds because they're still in bed because we're all on lockdown, right?
Sure.
But anyway, so yeah, today's topic is the sacrifice of self. We've been handling this topic all week, and it's been a great dive into the really truly the act of self fulfillment, because that's what sacrifice is the most fulfilling thing you're ever going to do because it lets you go of yourself, and when you're released from yourself, you're free from yourself, and with that freedom comes many great things like peace and contentment and just fulfillment as a whole, because now you're not all wrapped up into yourself and your own selfish needs and desires and wants and everything like that. you're more you can be free from that. It all comes from sacrifice, and little disciplines along the way help that. But I'm getting ahead of myself
Oh,
because we always start what?
what?
Don't let me get ahead of myself, Joe.
Sorry.
Got to keep this thing reined in. You know how I lose control and you know do
Well, I
weird
can't.
air guitar stuff and like
I can't, Joe. You're the host today. I have to do what you're in charge.
oh yes, that's right. That's right. I am in charge. So we're going to start with our 3-step process because that's what we do on this show. And you're welcome to do it with us. And I would encourage you to post in the chat your answers to these questions as well. And yeah, but I'm going to ask Joe here, step number 1, which is what are you thankful for today? So, Joe, what are you thankful for?
I am thankful for my wife who constantly makes sure I go to bed at a reasonable hour so that I can get up to do this in the morning.
I'm thankful for that too. Thanks, Natalie.
Yeah, because otherwise I would never be here. I would be asleep still. So, yep, I'm thankful for that. So I don't
It's,
stay up too late.
that's good. Thank you to from us to her as well. She's amazing. So that's awesome. So that's step number 1. What are you thankful for? It puts your mind in the right direction where you're like, now I'm thinking of positive things. Now we're going to look ahead to the future and think, what are we looking forward to? So, Joe, I ask you again, what are you looking forward to? Actually, I haven't asked you that question yet, but I will turn it to you again, asking you a different question, which is, what are you looking forward to? Like, I'm looking forward to going back to bed.
Yeah, looking forward to my bed. Hello. Well, it's Thursday, so the cheap easy answer is the BSS meeting that we have,
Oh yeah.
which every Thursday. But um, I'm gonna skip that one and go right on over to. I am looking forward to taking some time off. To yes, yep. I'm going to later this year when we finally move. I'm gonna take some time off to really find a position that kind of fits what I want out of life, and then that should open up a lot of time for BSS stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I am too. Anything that helps you spend more time on BSS stuff, I'm really looking forward to that. I want that too. I want whatever I can do to make me spend more time here doing stuff. That'd be awesome. Um, so it's still going to be in accounting?
Well, considering that's the only skill set that I could probably sell my skills at a reasonable price per hour, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Because you are the count. Uh,
Let's see. Your tax was one, two, $3,000 you owe to the federal government.
ah, no. Hey, there you go, Jeff, doing accounting on a golf course. They
Yeah,
open the golf courses again.
yeah.
Although, although golfing during tax season, normal tax season,
At least here, just
is that
doesn't happen. It's too cold.
like golfing in the snow?
Mhm.
Like, which could be fun. Although
Well,
you better have a different color ball than white.
right.
Yeah, that would get lost easily.
I mean, more likely you would just drop your taxes off and then say, "Here, I'm gonna go play a round of golf. Have them done by the time I get back," and then
Ah,
that would that would be the play.
yes, that makes sense. You're not gonna ride around on a golf cart filling out forms. or
Oh shoot!
that would be something. Well, awesome. That's step number 2. What are you looking forward to? And step number 3 is what are you going to do today? Now we're going to put you into action mode and start moving you toward that glorious future that you've already said, or maybe just moving your life forward in general. So, Joe, what are you going to do today to make your life better?
The same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Oh no, sorry,
What we
sorry.
going to do today, Brian?
Oh, oops. That's throwback. If you know what that's from, you're old.
Yeah, post it.
Congratulations.
Post it.
Go ahead and post that in the chat, or
Help us realize how old you are.
or comment. I'm just so. No, I am today going to be working on what I've kind of been working on all week, which is doing some research and learning uh, how scripts stories come together so that we write, or so that I can write some turn into oh exciting.
Yeah, that is cool. Is that for Black Static and Swerve projects?
Yes.
That's what I like.
Codename Chocolate Iguana.
Code. Yes, the chocolate iguana 2. Yep, Jeff, you're right. It's from 1995 to 1998. If they don't know the reference, it's old.
Yep.
Joe, you must have been like just a
I
kid.
was 2.
I
two
was like,
years old.
you only experienced that on reruns then, probably, huh?
Yeah, I might have right there at the tail of '98. Might remember some from then, but
Yeah. Man, I was in high school, enjoying that stuff. It was great. Jeff was probably in college. Still watching Animaniacs because it was amazing. That was one of the most amazing cartoons ever. But so
Mhm.
if you didn't get the reference, that's what it is.
Ah,
Now you
spoilers.
now you can post it in the comments and you can sound smart.
Yeah, you can go back, post it in the comments, and make it
Yep.
everyone else think you knew it.
Or it's like, oh yes, Animaniacs. Excellent. So that's the 3-step process. What are you thankful for? What are you looking forward to? What are you going to do today to move your life forward? And when you start your day like that, I'm telling you, everything changes. You set your mind in a positive mood. You start seeing light at the end of whatever tunnel you might be going through, and then you're taking steps to move toward that light at the end of the tunnel, and everything just becomes great because really, I just heard this on an Audible book 2 days ago, I think, and it's beautiful. This book is The Alchemist by Pablo Coelho, and the quote goes, "It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting." So just that you're looking forward to something and that you're moving things in the right direction, that makes life interesting. To think, hey, I have a shot. There's a possibility that this stuff might actually happen. And it gets pretty fun. So with that, we're going to roll right into our topic, which is something required for dreams to come true and for success to happen, which is sacrifice of yourself. Like you will give yourself to something while you're alive. What are you giving your life to? Because we're either going to give it to ourselves, we're going to give it to others, we're going to give it to a boss, maybe. We're going to give portions of our life away. And so what are you giving it to and why is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to turn it over to Joe and let him get started.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, self sacrifice is a really important topic to consider as you go through your life. Um, we talked about it yesterday, and we're gonna bring it back up again. But your time that you have on this earth is very finite. So what you spend of your life in the here and now makes a huge difference in where you end up in the future. So we do want you to be concerned. Be concerned about what what goes on in your life, what you're considering as you spend your time and your life, for yourself, for others, and working on the things that you have that bring creation to the world. Really,
Mm-hmm.
um, the one of the main things about self-sacrifice is that there's going to come a time at which you're going to, maybe it hasn't happened yet for many of you. Hopefully, it won't for a while, but you're going to have to choose between doing the right thing and doing the thing that benefits you.
Mm.
And those things are very actually seldom related. Generally, the right thing doesn't always, it doesn't involve benefits to you. Um, it involves benefits to other people. And so, as you go throughout your life, it's important to recognize, hey, if I want to do the right thing, if I want to be a person of character and of integrity, I'm going to have to take a couple of losses. And that's okay. Like, this is a good thing, but if you're not prepared for the fact that you're about to get, raked over the coals for doing the right thing, it's going to be a little bit harder when you get there. So, part of what this show is about is preparing you for things that you might not otherwise have thought of. It's a morning show. I mean, it could very well happen today. If this is your morning, uh, there's a lot of hours today. It could very well happen to you, and it could be big things. It could be small things. Like, it could be as simple as, like, not eating that cookie that you want to leave for another family member.
Mm.
On the lighter end of, like, that so and so, your brother or sister or mom or dad has had a bad day, and you could have this cookie, but you know that they would really use it more. They would need it more. It's a very minuscule example, but one nonetheless. The other times would be where you have the opportunity to actually just do something wrong. Like, there, as you progress and become older, you have the opportunity to do the wrong thing, whether it's stealing, whether it's just taking advantage of other people. You have the opportunity to uh, just end up using other people for your advantage because people begin to trust you, and we're here to tell you not to do that. Whether it's um, in terms of, I do accounting. It would be very easy for me to advise people, hey, you know what you should do with your money? This thing that also happens to benefit me, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe doesn't benefit you actually. So it'd be very easy to say things like that. And one of the things that when you self-sacrifice, when you decide, hey, I want to be a person of character, I want to be a person that makes a difference in the world, is that those things go away as options that you can choose. Like, they're always there. There's nothing stopping you. And in many instances, it's not illegal. It's not. Many people would think it's normal,
Mm.
and that, hey, yeah, let's just do it this way because it helps me. Why wouldn't I do it that way? Um, but here we kind of call you to be a little bit different. We're talking about setting up your morning, your life with a light that, one, wakes you up in the morning, but two, kind of shines on other people as well. And I think especially in times like these, we could use lights like that. So
Absolutely.
I was gonna pass it over to Joe, but then he took a drink of his coffee, so I'm gonna keep going. And now I'm gonna pass it over to Joe.
That was quick. I'm glad you kept going there for just that quick little second. Um, no, that's wonderful. What Joe's talking about is so important because I mean, to give something up that benefits you for the sake of others, it's such a powerful thing for them and also for you. Like it helps them out and they get the chance to be grateful. And we've all experienced that at some point in our lives where somebody gave of themselves to benefit us. You know, I'm sure every single one of us has had that happen somewhere along the line. And it feels good to have somebody do that. I mean, it humbles you and it makes you feel grateful, like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I would have been without them doing that. And I've experienced that many, many times. And it's so great to be involved with a group of people like here we have at Black Static and Swerve. I mean, everybody thinks like that. Everybody's trying to give of themselves. And we're all helping each other out in different ways. And it's amazing to see how everybody's contributing like that. And you know, but here's one of the things that's awesome. It's going to help the people that you serve when you sacrifice for their sake. But one of the things that's beautiful about the whole equation is what you feel as a result of doing that. When you give up something of yourself in order to help someone else. As I stated earlier on, the fruits of that in your own life are going to be peace and contentment, and you're going to be detaching yourself from yourself, if I could say so. And um, one of the things that we deal with on Don't Worry Wednesday, that Ryan and I deal with a lot, because on that show we handle problems and challenges that people are going through. One of the main things that we end up having to address a lot is the fact that most of us are too self-centered. And when we get focused on ourselves, then think we just end up feeling bad about things, and we feel bad about ourselves, and we're more likely to become depressed and stressed out and stuff like that. And it's all this self-focus, like, because if this wasn't happening to me, I wouldn't be experiencing this pain. And now I'm in the middle of it and it's hard. And when you sacrifice, you release yourself from that. It's amazing. I mean, even something simple as, like we just got done with this season of Lent. Something as simple as giving something up for Lent, it helps to detach you from something you desire. And that is a discipline that leads to more self-fulfillment. It leads to more freedom from your own desires. And it manifests itself in some amazing ways. Like you might do this, you might sacrifice in a certain area, and you'll notice that other areas of your life start to get easier. And it's because you're giving something up over here that you're now a little bit stronger to handle this other difficulty over here. I've seen that happen many times in my own life where, maybe I'll fast from food and then some other, addiction of mine goes away. And I'm like, whoa, that's really weird. But it makes sense when you think of your life as a whole, and something you're doing over here just builds a little bit of strength in you that then gets you can pour into other areas of your life. And I'm telling you, Raka, fast food. That's awesome. Um, when you do something for another person, not excuse me, not just giving something up that you want, but when you sacrifice for the sake of another person, that's even more powerful because now you're building and contributing into the life of another person. and you see that happen for another person's life. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing something that's beneficial, that's lifting them up. And maybe they don't even have the ability to pay you back for that. What happens when we give to charity? What happens when we help out at a soup kitchen? It's what happens when we deliver meals to people who can't afford it. These things, what they do is it puts somebody in a position of, oh my gosh, somebody's doing this for me and I can't pay them back. And then I've seen people just tear up with gratitude because they're like, there's no way I can pay this back. I mean, I thank you so much. And then you on the other side of that, you almost want to cry with them because you sit there and like, oh my gosh, wow, this really makes a difference in somebody's life. And I'm telling you, the more moments you seek out where you can make a difference to somebody else at your expense, maybe it causes some pain. Maybe it causes financial pain. Maybe it causes, physical pain. Like if you give up your lunch because you wanted to give money some to the poor or to whatever, and so what you've done is you've given your lunch money and now you don't get lunch. So that causes some hunger that you then have to deal with. As you experience that, you can be like, oh my gosh, but that was done for a good purpose. That was done for a good cause. And now it's like this fulfillment and this release from your own selfishness, which is truly a beautiful thing. And yeah, that's what I got. Joe, did you have anything else?
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
yeah, I think it's good if you've never had somebody express that kind of gratitude for you. I don't think you truly understand how powerful it is. Um, it's an amazing thing, and it changes your life as much as it changes the other person's.
Mm,
Um, I'm not very good at quoting, but mainly because it's hard to remember references. But again, Joe and I are Christian, and so there's this portion of the Bible Jesus talks, and he says, "Love, there's no love greater than this, than a man who would lay down his life for his friends." Um, that's very specifically talking about like actually like dying for the help of your friends. But I think on another level, it's also talking about putting aside yourself, because the moments where you're actually like putting your life on your line for your friends don't come, especially here in the United States, don't come around very often. Like it's not like, there's lots of burning buildings for you to run into all the time and stuff like that. The vast majority of the time, that's not that's not what you see on a day-to-day basis. And that's good. Like that's a good thing. Like I'm glad that nobody has to deal with that. But um, on the other level, you'll see a lot of times where you can lay down your life and you can sacrifice a good deal of life for your friends. So, in a bit of an example, there's my wife who is going to be a pharmacist, um, and and for a while now we've kind of been here where we currently live, and I've kind of reached this stage where like, yeah, I could totally go on and do something else now because I'm definitely not feeling the job right now, or it's super stressful. Like, hey, this would be a great time for me to just pack up, leave, let's go somewhere else.
mhm,
But because of her career and everything else we're working on, um, we haven't, and and that can be tough. Like when you're doing things that maybe don't make sense. I think Joe yesterday talked about um, how much he loves inspecting. Um, and how much he just enjoys that aspect of what he does. But he gives up a lot of himself so that he can provide for his family, and for other people too. I know that Joe's a very giving person, or at least he seems to be. So there's lots of ways that you can kind of give up things that maybe could be better if you said, nah, I don't want to do this. I could do this other thing and it would be better for me. There's lots of times that we could do that. And 99% of those times, it's when it's really hard for us.
Mm.
um, and I think that's part of what makes, like Joe's talking about, finding peace, finding contentment in your situation. Um, there's this weird dichotomy with many things where, um, if you're content and at peace with whatever situation you're in, it's far easier to kind of make that sacrifice and say,
Mhm.
okay, so be it. But there's also the other half of it where, because you make some of these sacrifices, you find contentment and peace. It's really weird. It's great that it works both ways.
Mhm.
It really is.
Yeah.
Um, because it kind of just shows that, hey, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you're not on that level, like, by taking that step, you can find really peace and satisfaction that I think many of us, probably all of us, are truly looking for. I know very few people who don't want to be happy,
Mhm.
and the people who tell you they don't want to be happy are lying to your face. They are legitimately lying to your face.
They're trying to put on a strong, like,
Hmm.
face in front of your face.
Yep. And and we each have our own reasons for that. We each have our reasons for wanting to appear one way or the other, but um, that's not why we're here. We're not here to put on a face for you. When Joe and I do this show, it's not because we want to have, like, well, if we can show people this, like, we can convince them to do these things for us. No, no. Like, truly, when we get up this morning, it's because we want to talk to you and kind of give you a place to start your day, a place where you can move your life in a good direction. Because I can guarantee you, if that wasn't my choice, I would be sleeping right now. I would honestly be sleeping if that wasn't
Totally.
why we did this. Because if it was for money, I can make money later. I'm going to go back to bed.
Yeah.
If it was really any other reason, I'm out. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So there are lots of reasons that we do things, and like I said, this show really makes me happy. Like, I wouldn't do it if it didn't make me happy.
Mhm.
Now, am I happy every morning when I get up for the show? Probably not. Joe sees it a lot more than you guys do, because I'm still waking up when I join Joe for this morning broadcast. But um, you
Yeah, but
know,
you put the shine on quick, man. I'm impressed, I have to say, because yeah, you come on looking like a zombie, and then all of a sudden, like when we're going on to the show, you're like, good,
the
calm, boom. Hey, we're doing the show.
the key is our
Good.
totally non-sponsored Pepsi Cola. It has sugar and caffeine, but that little kick in the morning.
And fizz. Don't
And
forget the
fizz.
fizz.
But that's kind of all I had to say, Joe. What take us away?
Yeah. Well, the question that this all boils down to is why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because a reason why can change everything. It can change your whole perspective on whatever it is. Like I can if if I take a task I don't like doing and I focus on the fact that I don't like doing it and that this is just awful and that oh my gosh, I can't stand this. Then everything just is horrible. That's not really sacrifice. That's just enduring. right? But if I focus on why I'm doing this, like what's the purpose? Who am I serving? How can I take this thing and turn it into a service? I remember dealing with that with inspections and like the job itself, not very fun. Like Joe was explaining, like it's not a very fun job. There are benefits to it. One is I get to set my own schedule. I like that because then that gives me time to do like martial arts with my kids and be at every school event and go on field trips and all that kind of stuff because I can work my work schedule around my family's schedule, of which now there are no field trips and martial arts is all online. And it for right now, that's just the way life is. But so there are benefits to that. But really what it comes down to, I remember talking to Ryan because Ryan used to do this inspections job too. And when we were both doing it at one time, we were kind of talking about the job and different aspects of it and everything like that. And it came up that we are like, honestly, it kind of could be considered a ministry to do this because what happens in our jobs is we catch people at very stressful times in their life. There's something going on with their mortgage, and that's why we're there. And it's a stressful time for people. And because I've gone through the process of losing a house, I know how that feels. I know how it feels to lose your house because you can't afford it. And so I understand where these people are at. And if I can show up, not just as some inspector that's like, hey, you pay your bill or else I wouldn't have to be here. If I can show up and be a compassionate ear, even when they're upset and angry and kind of biting and yelling and whatever, I I can show up with an understanding and maybe that interaction will bring a little bit of peace into their life. And I started to focus on that aspect. And then you know what happens? The task itself, now that it has purpose, it is something you actually look forward to because you're like, I'm contributing something here. Now, sometimes it's hard to do that, especially if the task isn't fun. But if you can remember why, and the stronger you can get that reason why, the more reasons you can stack up of how this is helping somebody, then the more content, the more fulfilled, and the more at peace you'll be while you go through that process. There's a movie, if you guys have seen it, The Passion of the Christ. I try to watch it every Lent, just to kind of get a reminder of what happened almost 2,000 years ago for all of us. And even though it's just a rendition, it's Mel Gibson's rendition of the sacrifice of Christ. But there's a line in there right before Jesus is about to be whipped and flogged, and he's standing there at the post, and they're getting their weapons all ready to start whacking him. And he says, "My heart is ready, Lord." I like to think in that moment he knows what's coming. He knows it's going to be painful, but in his heart he remembers why he's going through all this. He's like, "My heart is ready." And when you remember why, it will ready your heart to do whatever you're going to need to do that may be causing pain for you. And so I encourage you, take that time to think through, why do you do certain things that you do? How can you make it an act of service? How can you make this a form of sacrifice for another person? And you'll start to see a new doorway of light opening to you, much like the three-step process that we do every day. You start thinking in terms like this, it'll change your life. It'll change your mentality. Depression will be gone. You'll still deal with stress, but you won't feel depressed about it. The 5 W's. What, where, when, why, and what? That's not it. Who, what, when, where, why. I forgot the who part. You can tell I'm task oriented. I'm not people oriented, right? Like,
It doesn't matter who.
yep. Who, what, when, where, why. Why is that one question that can change everything for you? So, with that, man, that's all I got. And we're going to do the clap. You know, if the mic picks it up. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But either way, in the meantime, there's all kinds of great things for you guys to do. You can go here. Oh no,
There.
I can't get the link. I'm trying to get a link for you guys. Get the link. There it is. Boom. Hey, go there this afternoon. It's going to be good. Actually, go there now. Click on it and then follow them and turn on the notifications so you'll know exactly when they go live. That's the BSH gaming stream. Ryan and Jesse, Princess and Catsrick will be on today. I'm not sure what game they're going to be playing. It's a surprise to us all. A lot of times it's Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes it's Heroes of the Storm. Sometimes it's. But either way, there's a crowd of people there that's fun to hang out with. And you can also go to bss.studio. Tomorrow is Free for All Friday, in which we will be going through the Law of Attraction. Yes. Brought to us by My Gary. And if you want to post a topic for us to go through on the Double Cup of Joe show, feel free to go there, post a topic. As we stated, it's free for all. Put whatever you want in there. We'll talk about it.
Also, it's free, so we're not going to charge you to show up tomorrow. So
it is, yes. Yep.
You know.
And free shipping.
Yep. Yep. We will freely ship.
Yep. Exactly. Direct to you immediately.
Via YouTube.
You thought Prime 2-day shipping, which isn't really 2-day shipping anymore now that we're in this pandemic. It's more like 2.5 weeks shipping. But
close.
We have free immediate shipping. Thanks to our friends at YouTube.
Yep, it's a tube directly to you. We just put it in there and boom.
That's
right
why
to
they call
your
it
face.
YouTube.
Yep.
Exactly. But so go there, hang out, and then yeah. Come back tomorrow morning. We'll be here. We'll be doing Free for All Friday, the Law of Attraction. It'll be a good time. And that's gonna be all. Joe didn't cut me off.
I didn't cut you off. Should
I? So thank you guys for coming out. You guys are amazing. We'll see you.